I know, I have not been producing regular content for you guys. I know, but that does not mean you're not in my thoughts quite a lot of the time. I have loads of plans for videos. The problem with my plans is they seem to be plans that include a lot of planning and ongoing video content, stuff that I would have to film a fair time in advance, say a series of 5 to 6 videos, film them all over a month, edit, and then release them. So a lot of my plans seem to be around that kind of model. And I'm like, I just need content now. Can I just find some videos to make now so everyone just doesn't get bored and leave me? Anyway, if you don't know me, if you're new here, my name is Martine, otherwise known as Rogue Pixel. And as a creator trying to monetize my skills in a variety of different ways, I am here to try and teach other creators to do the same. So stick around. So by the title of this video, you can kind of gather where we're going with this. One of my most frequent questions that I get is why I don't share my store, or where is your store? Can I have a look at your designs to see what works and what doesn't? And this is the reason, well, there's a few reasons why I don't share my store. My first Redbubble video is just going to be a one-off, here's what I've learned. And people really liked my content around my print-on-demand stuff. So obviously I started creating more and more. But what I did notice about other people doing print-on-demand, whether they were talking about their stores through a blog, through video content, whatever it was, people were very rarely actually showing their stores. And I was really curious. I would watch these people. I was like, oh, well, I want to see your designs, If you're saying you're making all these sales, I want to see what kind of stuff is selling. And, barring a few, I couldn't see people's shops. And I really, really understand why they don't share. Because if you're sharing your sales amounts and on the back of that, you're showing the designs that made these sales, it's not just opening the door for people to literally copy and paste that design in a really scummy way and sell it off as their own, but you're also potentially showing your niche. So if your bestseller is around, say, Cocker Spaniel dogs, and the niche is really small and you've got that niche settled, and people can kind of, now that Redbubble's sorted out its shops, you can actually see on everybody's shops what's trending and what's best selling. I need to sneeze. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to be precious about their niches, but it's more if you've found something that's really working and you're in a niche that is really underserved, and you've managed to find that thing and you're sharing that, and then everybody starts making for that niche as well, you've lost your edge a little bit. And I don't feel that I have any strong niches that I dominate in. So that wasn't really my justification, but I could see how other print-on-demand content creators would use that as justification. That kind of, don't mess with my niches, these are mine kind of thing. So that was one of the main reasons why I thought, well, I'm not going to share my shop. Nobody else is sharing their shop. And I was kind of scared of people just taking my designs. So out of bestsellers that I've had on merch, on Redbubble, and on TeePublic, all 3 platforms, I've had to report 2 of my designs that sell really well for me, that people have straight out copied. They pulled my design from somewhere and placed it on their own. Other times people have skirted pretty close to what's kind of ethical, in that they've taken my concept and reworked it a tiny bit and then pass it off as their own. I don't tend to touch those people, but people who've blatantly taken my designs on all 3 platforms, I've reported them. So yes, so I saw other people were doing it. I could see their justifications for it, even though I really wanted to see their designs. And I kind of was scared people would copy me more than they already are. And as I started getting more people watching me, as it were, I started realizing that my store was very, very messy, and I didn't know if I wanted this general store that I have, talking about Redbubble in particular right now, to represent me and my brand, because As a freelancer, I'm a small business owner, even though I don't have a limited company. I run like a small business does, and I want everything under the Rogue Pixel brand to represent me. And I didn't feel that this general shop that I had loads of different designs, different art styles, represented what I wanted to put out there under my brand. So I wanted a kind of an anonymous space where I could play around with different ideas without wondering, oh, does this go against what I'm for? You know, it's not the kind of art style or the niche I designed for. I wanted the freedom. So I'm still not comfortable showing my general store because I don't feel that it encompasses me as a brand, if that makes sense. To be honest, I'm still trying to work out what actually works. I've had loads of one-off successes on my stores, and I'm still trying to pinpoint what people like within those things so I can kind of give them more of that thing. I'm getting the hang of it, but a lot of my store is just trial and error. And I know a lot of the time people want to see what doesn't work, and that is fair enough. But for me to have a store that's under my name, I need to make sure it represents my brand in the right way, if that makes sense. But this whole thing has been limiting me so much recently because, like I say, people ask, they're like, can you show me an example of a design of yours that's worked or one that you've scrapped and all of this stuff? I'm like, no, because that's just opening the floodgates, you know? And I'm like, I'm holding this store like all precious to my bosom. And I'm like, I don't want to, you know, and I feel like part of my channel and the part of the way I represent myself is through transparency. So I feel like in this thing, I'm still holding back. It's limiting because I get contacted on Instagram, especially by a lot of people that watch my YouTube content for hints and tips. Check out my designs, you know, can you give me some advice or whatever? But a lot of people contact me on Instagram just through the art that they've seen on my Instagram with no other knowledge of me, wanting to know, you know, can I buy your stuff? It's really, really cool. And I've kind of got to be like, well, I don't want to share my store. So how do I combat this? I would love to show you my store. I'd love to be open and transparent about, I've been thinking of an idea, guys, you know, this is how we're going to design it, take you through the process of it, upload it, show you how I promote it, and maybe at the end of it, after the first couple of months, how it's performed sales-wise, to give you like real life examples. But again, it's like, well, if I show one, they're going to see my messy store. Okay, so without all that preamble, I'm sorry guys, it's been battling in my brain for a while how to combat this. And I thought I found a way, and I thought, okay, if I change my store name to Rogue Pixel and basically clean up my store, get rid of stuff that's definitely not selling and won't sell, and try and have things that align with the brand that I'm trying to portray myself as. But then I realized that you're not allowed to change your store name on Redbubble at all. So this is the plan. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open a second Redbubble store, which is completely possible. If you go onto, I might pop up the document somewhere here. If you go to Redbubble's terms and conditions, they say you're completely allowed to create a second store as long as you use another email address to set it up, and as long as you don't go over the 60 uploads a month limit. So that doesn't mean, so when you've got one store, you're allowed 60 uploads a month. But if you've got two stores, you have to have 60 uploads a month between both of those stores. So pretty much 30 each. So that's the only stipulation to having multiple stores, is you still have a 60 upload per month limit. No problem for me. So what we're going to do, and tell me if this is a good idea and if you have any tips on how we can take this idea forward. My thoughts were, open up a new store under Rogue Pixel, put all of my stuff that I have on my Instagram, get it ready to be sold, take you guys through how I brand my store, making the banner, promoting my stuff, coming up with new designs. You know, I can make video content around searching for ideas, keywording, actually designing the thing, getting it optimized, ready to go. And maybe I can give people updates on how that design did later on. And that means I can use that store just for the stuff I'm really proud about. I can promote it happily under my Instagram because it's not just random tosh that I've made that I think might sell. It's stuff that I really, really am proud of and I want to sell. Not that the stuff that I've put on there is tosh. Let me put that straight, because I don't make stuff that I hate on the hopes that it sells. I make stuff that's outside of my comfort zone and what I think is cool. You know, either really girly stuff or stuff that's just not my target audience and doesn't fit my brand. So that's when I say tosh. Just a lot of random stuff. Okay. So what do you think? I think that that's going to be the best of both worlds for me. What really, really guts me out is some of my best sellers. I don't want to take them from my original Redbubble store and move them, because if you didn't know, every time you make a sale on an item on Redbubble, the algorithm is very, very happy with that. So even if someone with a similar design with all the same keywords puts something up, yours will always rank high because it's already got that one sale. So taking a good seller off of my store to move it to a new store, I think will be very detrimental for me. So it's a shame that I can't share those ones with you, but I'm going to kind of keep those where they are. Hopefully I'll have some new bestsellers for the new shop. And that's about it. Sorry for the ramble. I'm going to have no idea. It says 18 minutes. Let me see if I can cut this down. I think this will be a good plan. It'll allow me to keep my general store as a churning ground to play around with ideas, and I can have the proper Rogue Pixel store to share with you guys, to promote and share under my own brand and take you along with me on the way. So I've been planning this for a bit. I've got my designs are ready to go. The first 10 at least that are going to go up into the store. The branding, the banner and all that stuff, all good to go. I was just kind of waiting to bring it up with you guys first, get some further ideas if you have them, and we can kick this off. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys are doing well. You're staying safe. You are not going too crazy in the house. It's been a bit weird for me. I've been up and down, and through the lack of work, I don't like not having stuff to do. So that's been a struggle, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I've been planning a lot and doing very little of actually. But this is step one, making this video for you guys to let you know the plans, and hopefully you'll have a lot more regular content from now on. Let's hope. Any suggestions on future videos, you guys just let me know. I'm always happy to hear suggestions, and I really want to make what you guys want and will find value from. So I'm always ready to hear your suggestions. In the meantime, stay safe and I'll see you soon.